This is News 4 Tucson.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Bangura. Danelle Confair has the weekend off. We start off tonight with breaking news as the University of Arizona is now looking for a new head football coach. News 4 Tucson's David Kelly is here to tell us what's next. David.
Well, Mark, the end came officially at 3:13 Mountain Time this afternoon. Kevin Sumlin relieved of his duties as head football coach by Arizona Athletics Director Dave Hickey. Hickey in a statement saying, when we hired Kevin 3 years ago, we had very high hopes for our football program. Unfortunately, we simply have not seen the results and upward trajectory in our program that we need to. And I believe now's time for a change in leadership. Our attention will now turn to finding the next head football coach at the University of Arizona. Now, this move was inevitable after U of A got throttled Friday night in the Territorial Cup, 70-7 by Arizona State. The 63-point setback, the worst ever for the Wildcats in this rivalry game. Kevin Sumlin's tenure finishes at 9-20 and with 12 straight losses. We will break it down further with Glenn Howe. That'll be straight ahead in sports, but right now we want to head out to many of the Arizona football alumni. They were upset. We want to head out now to our guy Austin Walker. He is out by the stadium once again. And Austin, what were the fans saying about all this tonight?
David, a lot has happened in the last 48 hours. I mean, talk about this, a big change in football program right now. I mean, go on Twitter. It's all anybody can talk about on Twitter. People, you scroll down, that's all you're really seeing. So we talked to some fans as well as alumni and the players as well about this change, and they say it all happened way too fast. We all saw the scoreboard.
I didn't even want to watch it because it was so bad.
70-7. The U of A Wildcats with one touchdown and fans with one question. What will the future look like for the Arizona Wildcats?
I heard there was a rumor that he was getting fired, and I thought they wouldn't fire him like right now.
That rumor came true Saturday afternoon. With no review on this play, fans took to social media weighing in on the university's decision. We spoke with players moments before a meeting, their first time together since the news broke. A lot of them say they found out from notifications on their cell phones. And like an interception, the news is hard to swallow. While there are a lot of questions moving forward for the Wildcats, other fans are looking at this play as a positive.
I guess if it's real, it's better for change.
As we kick off into next week, Wildcat fans continue to wonder, will there be first downs in the future? And who will be named as the new head coach for the University of Arizona? Certainly a lot of questions left, and we have to answer all of those in the coming future, but we do know the new interim head coach right now will be the defensive coordinator for now, but the university is searching to find that new permanent spot. We've got you covered live from the U of A. I'm Austin Walker, News 4 Tucson.
All right, thank you, Austin. We are following a developing story tonight. Tucson police have confirmed that one man has been stabbed and has been sent to a local hospital with serious injuries on Saturday night on the corner of Stone Avenue and Laguna Street. Now, police have confirmed that they have two suspects in custody. The call came in just after 6 p.m. and we will update this article as more information comes into the newsroom. Now to the latest on the coronavirus here in Arizona. Tucson Unified School Board member and Pima County Supervisor-elect Adelita Grijalva has tested positive for COVID-19. She is now in isolation, according to a press release. Grijalva is asymptomatic and is unsure how or where she was infected, and she stressed that the public continue to wear masks and stay home as much as possible as COVID-19 cases rise across Arizona. Amphitheater Schools Superintendent Todd Yeager sent out a letter to parents confirming that the school district will be moving to remote learning after the new year. Yeager cited the fact that Pima County's positivity percentage being at 12% puts the district in the red on the school dashboard. Yeager said that Pima County Chief Medical Officer Dr. Francisco Garcia informed superintendents that the COVID-19 metrics were trending in a direction where in-person learning could not be feasible. Now, as we look at the latest coronavirus numbers here in Arizona, the state is seeing one of the highest number in single-day cases since the pandemic began, with over 8,000 new cases added today, bringing the statewide total to 402,589. 77 new deaths were reported today, and 7,322 Arizonans have now died from virus-related issues. Pima County is now seeing over 1,000 cases reported in a day, an indication that the virus is spreading at a rapid pace. The county-wide totals stand at over 50,000 cases, with 23 new deaths reported in Pima County today. That death toll rising to 799. Good news, the FDA has granted emergency authorization for Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. The announcement came Friday night in a letter from the FDA stating that the known and potential benefits of Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine outweighs its potential risks for people 16 and older. Now, during a press conference on Saturday, FDA Commissioner Stephen Hahn reassured the public on the thoroughness of the FDA's review of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine and its benefits. Hahn pledged his confidence and trust in the vaccine, saying that he will be taking it.
I am pleased to announce that late yesterday, the FDA authorized for emergency use the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine. This is the first COVID-19 vaccine to be authorized in the United States. But let me be clear. Efficiency does not mean any cutting of corners. Medical products are still undergoing rigorous study and clinical trials. Important safety checks remain in place.
He also said reports that he was threatened to be fired are inaccurate. And the CDC Advisory Committee also gave Pfizer-BioNTech's coronavirus vaccine the green light. The panel of independent experts voted 11-0 to recommend the vaccine for people aged 16 and older. Now, the vote came after several hours of discussion, including whether or not pregnant women should be given the vaccine, since there's limited data on the vaccine's safety for that group. CDC officials said people will still need to wear masks and socially distance even after getting vaccinated. The distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine has already began. The COO of Operation Warp Speed, General Gus Perna, says boxes are being packed and loaded. The vaccine will start shipping out of the Pfizer facility on Monday and will make it to hundreds of sites across the United States by the middle of the week.
We expect 145 sites across all the states to receive vaccine on Monday, another 425 sites on Tuesday, and the final 66 sites on Wednesday, which will complete the initial delivery of the Pfizer orders for vaccine.
This also comes as the U of A recently announced it has a facility that can hold 1.6 million vaccines. Some good news for us. Maybe we'll get some more good news here as we hand it over to Shay Sorensen with a quick look at our weather. Shay.
Hey, yeah, it was a beautiful day today. Tomorrow will be beautiful too, just a little bit cooler. Today we got to 70 here in Tucson, 65 in Nogales, 63 in Sierra Vista, but temperatures will be a bit cooler for tomorrow as a cold front passes through for tonight. Current temperatures, though, pretty comfortable in the 40s and 50s, but you will want a jacket if you're heading out the door at any time soon. Current wind gusts, pretty breezy out there in some spots, 24 miles per hour in Bisbee, 14 in Sassabee, and again, the wind will pick up a little bit more before dying down after this front passes through. The White Mountains could see a little bit of snowfall for tonight, maybe an inch or so, but not much more than that. The rest of us are staying dry, but we're all going to be impacted by that colder weather. Temperatures only warming into the low 60s for some of the warmer spots for your Sunday, but this week is going to be a roller coaster ride when it comes to our temperatures. I'll have all of those details coming up. Mark.
All right, thank you, Shay. Now to the latest. In Decision 2020, thousands of supporters of President Donald Trump attended rallies in Washington, D.C. today to support his efforts to overturn the results of the presidential election. Now, according to the National Park Service, the Million MAGA March and Women for America First are among the groups holding rallies. The rallies are intended as a show of support just 2 days before electors meet in their states to cast electoral college votes. And French President Emmanuel Macron has praised President-elect Joe Biden for his plan to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord. Macron told American friends today, "Welcome back, welcome home," during a virtual UN summit on climate change on the 5th anniversary of the Paris Agreement. The agreement between almost 200 states in 2015 was hailed as a potential turning point in efforts to contain climate change. President Trump withdrew from the accord in 2017. Macron said action on climate change should be immediate. Coming up on News 4 Tucson at 10, the Roadrunners got into the Christmas spirit today. Plus, David Kelly has a full slate of sports just around the corner. We'll be right back.